Hello everyone. Welcome to Nanuya channel. And today we're diving into a powerful idea. Thought is not reality. If you've ever felt trapped by your thoughts or overwhelmed by your mind's chatter, this episode is for you. Let's start with a simple question. Have you ever believed something about yourself, only to realize later it wasn't true? Maybe it was, I'm not good enough, or they must hate me, or even, I'll never change. These thoughts feel real. They sound like the truth. But here's the secret. Just because you think it doesn't make it true. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky. They pass by. Some are dark and heavy. Some are light and almost invisible. But none of them are the sky itself. The sky is you, your awareness, the space that holds the thoughts. Our brains generate 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day. That's about one thought per second during waking hours. Many of them are automatic, based on past conditioning. They arise without our conscious control, repeating patterns, worries, comparisons, or judgments. Importantly, these thoughts are not facts. They are mental events, interpretations, evaluations, predictions, memories. They are stories the mind creates, not objective reflections of reality. Real life story. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I gave a talk that I thought went terribly. I kept replaying one moment in my head where I stumbled on my words. My inner dialogue screamed, "Everyone noticed. They think you're incompetent." But later that day, someone came up and said how much the talk meant to them, and they hadn't even noticed the part I obsessed over. That moment showed me how my thoughts were just interpretations, not the truth. Extended insight. From a neuroscience perspective, thoughts are patterns of electrochemical activity across synapses in the brain. When a neuron fires, it sends a signal to another neuron via neurotransmitters. Repeated thoughts strengthen the synaptic pathways between neurons, a concept known as Hebbian learning, or neurons that fire together wire together. The brain uses the default mode network, DMN, to generate thoughts during rest or idle time, often related to self-referential thinking, daydreaming, and worrying. Overactivity in the DMN is associated with depression and anxiety. Mindfulness practices reduce DMN activity and increase connectivity in the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in present moment awareness and executive control. Neuroscientific research using fMRI has shown that meditation increases gray matter density in brain regions associated with emotional regulation, perspective taking, and compassion, such as the hippocampus and the temporoparietal junction. When we believe our thoughts are reality, we suffer. Imagine your friend doesn't reply to your message. Thought, they must be mad at me. That thought creates anxiety. Maybe you spiral into shame or fear. You start ruminating. Your body tenses up. You feel rejected. But what if they just lost their phone or got caught up with work? The story in your head wasn't real, but it felt real. This is the danger of cognitive fusion, when we fuse with our thoughts and accept them without question. This concept comes from acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, which teaches us to create space between ourselves and our thoughts. Extended insight. Cognitive fusion can lead to common thinking traps, such as all or nothing thinking. If I fail once, I'm a total failure. Mind reading. They think I'm annoying. Fortune telling. This will never work. From a scientific lens, Rumination activates the subgenual prefrontal cortex, a brain area linked to mood regulation. When left unchecked, repetitive negative thinking can worsen symptoms of depression and anxiety. But cognitive diffusion techniques, like labeling a thought or visualizing it floating away, activate more neutral brain circuits and reduce emotional reactivity. So, how do we let go? Letting go doesn't mean suppressing or fighting your thoughts. It means creating distance, learning to observe them rather than be controlled by them. Here are some practical steps. Notice the thought. Pause and bring awareness. Oh, I'm having the thought that I'm a failure. Label it. This is key. Say to yourself, that's just a thought. You might even add, thank you, mind, to acknowledge it without feeding it. Practice detachment. Visualize the thought as a leaf floating down a stream, or words on a movie screen. Watch it come and go. Return to the body. Ground yourself in the present moment. Feel your feet on the ground. Take a deep breath. Anchor in your senses. Ask questions. Byron Katie offers a powerful tool called the work. When a painful thought arises, ask, is it true? Can I absolutely know it's true? How do I react when I believe that thought? Who would I be without that thought? Guided exercise. Let's take 30 seconds together. Close your eyes if you're in a safe space. Take a deep breath. Notice what thought is most prominent right now. Say in your mind, I'm noticing I'm having the thought that. Just watch it float by, like a cloud. Take another breath, and gently come back to the present. Additional tools. Mindfulness meditation. Sit quietly and notice thoughts without judgment. Name them and return to the breath. Studies show that just 8 weeks of mindfulness meditation can decrease amygdala reactivity, the brain's fear center, and increase activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, which supports cognitive control. Cognitive diffusion exercises. Say the thought out loud in a silly voice. This reduces its power. Journaling. Write thoughts down and ask yourself if they're helpful, necessary, or kind. And remember, thoughts can be influenced by things as mundane as sleep deprivation, blood sugar levels, or stress. Questioning thoughts doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Thought isn't the enemy, it's a tool. Like a hammer, it can build or destroy. Thought allows us to plan, reflect, imagine, innovate. It becomes a problem when we forget that we are not the thoughts themselves. A thought is like a lens. If you forget you're looking through it, you mistake the lens for reality. But if you can see the lens, you can choose how to use it. You are the thinker, not the thought. This is why meditation, journaling, and mindfulness practices are so powerful. They train the mind to observe thoughts without becoming them. Over time, this creates inner space and freedom. Daily practices to reinforce this understanding. Morning intention. Today, I will notice and name my thoughts without attaching to them. Evening reflection. Which thoughts helped me today? Which ones hurt me? What can I learn? Gratitude list. Shift your focus from negative thought loops to appreciation. Dr. Lena Moore, psychologist. Many people come to therapy thinking their thoughts define them, but I tell them, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes them. The moment you begin witnessing your mind rather than merging with it, you begin to heal. By engaging with your mind consciously, you take back the steering wheel. So next time a painful thought arises, pause. Witness it. Don't fight it, but don't feed it either. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who sees them, the observer, the sky behind the clouds. Reality is not the story in your mind. It's the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of bird song, the feeling of breath moving in and out. It's the aliveness of the present moment. Thanks for listening to Nanuya Podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend, leave a review, subscribe, like, or journal about the thoughts you often mistake for truth. And remember, just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. Until next time, stay present, stay kind.